Combat sports have always held a special place in human history. From ancient gladiator battles to modern-day championship fights, the art of fighting has evolved into a spectacle that captivates millions. Among the most popular combat sports today, two stand above the rest: mixed martial arts, MMA, and boxing. Both have passionate fan bases, legendary fighters, and deep histories, yet the debate rages on which is better. This question sparks endless discussions among fight fans, analysts, and even professional fighters. But the answer isn't as simple as picking one over the other. Each sport has its own strengths, techniques, and appeal. To truly understand this debate, we need to dive deep into the history, techniques, rules, and impact of both MMA and boxing. MMA, as the name suggests, is a combination of different martial arts. Fighters in this sport must be well-rounded, mastering multiple disciplines such as Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, wrestling, kickboxing, and Muay Thai. The sport allows for a variety of techniques, from striking with fists, elbows, and knees to grappling and submissions on the ground. This makes MMA one of the most versatile and unpredictable forms of combat sports. On the other hand, boxing is a sport that focuses entirely on striking with the hands. The objective is to outmaneuver and outstrike the opponent using footwork, head movement, and precise punches. It's a sport that has existed for centuries, producing some of the greatest athletes in history. While it may seem limited compared to MMA, boxing's depth lies in its technique, strategy, and the science behind every punch thrown. The origins of these sports play a huge role in understanding their differences. Boxing can be traced back to ancient civilizations, such as Egypt and Greece, where it was practiced as a form of competition and self-defense. It eventually became a regulated sport with a set of rules designed to ensure fairness and safety. Over time, boxing evolved into a mainstream sport with international recognition, producing legends like Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson, and Floyd Mayweather. MMA, in contrast, is relatively new compared to boxing. While martial arts have existed for centuries, modern MMA was officially established in the early 1990s with the launch of the Ultimate Fighting Championship, UFC. The early days of MMA were chaotic, with fighters from different backgrounds competing under minimal rules. However, as the sport gained popularity, it developed into a highly technical and structured competition with rules designed to protect fighters while maintaining its raw and dynamic nature. One of the biggest differences between MMA and boxing is the rule set. In boxing, fighters are only allowed to use punches and must remain standing. The match is divided into rounds, with each round lasting a few minutes. Fighters win by knockout, technical knockout, or decision based on points scored through clean punches. MMA, however, is far more diverse in its rules. Fighters can strike with punches, kicks, elbows, and knees. They can also wrestle, take the fight to the ground, and attempt submissions. The fights take place in an octagon rather than a ring, allowing for more movement and strategies. Unlike boxing, an MMA fight can be won in various ways: knockout, technical knockout, submission, or judge's decision. The techniques in both sports are what truly set them apart. In boxing, fighters rely on footwork, head movement, and precise punching to outscore or knock out their opponents. Defensive skills such as blocking, slipping, and rolling are crucial in avoiding damage. Boxers also have to master different styles, such as counterpunching, pressure fighting, and outside fighting to adapt to various opponents. MMA fighters, on the other hand, have to be well-versed in multiple disciplines. Striking in MMA is different from boxing due to the inclusion of kicks, elbows, and clinch fighting. Fighters must also be prepared for grappling exchanges, as a strong wrestler can take an opponent to the ground and control them. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu adds another layer, allowing fighters to submit their opponents using chokes and joint locks. Because of this, MMA requires a broader skill set compared to boxing. When it comes to strategy, boxing is often seen as a chess match. Fighters must be highly strategic with their movement, punch selection, and defensive tactics. The limited tools make every punch thrown more meaningful, and endurance plays a massive role in going the distance in long fights. The ability to read an opponent, adjust tactics, and execute a game plan is what separates good boxers from great ones. MMA, on the other hand, is unpredictable due to its variety of techniques. Fighters must be prepared for all aspects of combat: striking, grappling, and submissions. A fight can change in an instant with a well-timed takedown or a perfectly executed submission. Because of this, MMA fighters must have excellent adaptability, making the sport dynamic and full of surprises. The physical demands of both sports also differ. Boxing is incredibly taxing on the cardiovascular system, as fighters are constantly moving, throwing punches, and dodging attacks for multiple rounds. Endurance, speed, and reflexes are essential for success. MMA, while also requiring strong cardio, places additional demands on the body due to the grappling aspect. Wrestlers and jiu-jitsu specialists have to exert tremendous energy to control opponents, making conditioning a crucial part of an MMA fighter's training. The risks involved in both sports are often a topic of debate. Boxing has long been associated with head trauma due to the repeated blows to the head over long fights. Many retired boxers have suffered from chronic traumatic encephalopathy, CTE, a degenerative brain condition caused by repeated head injuries. MMA, while also dangerous, has a different risk profile. The inclusion of grappling means fighters don't always absorb constant head trauma, but they are still at risk of concussions, broken bones, and joint injuries from submission. From a spectator's perspective, the preference between MMA and boxing often comes down to personal taste. Boxing's appeal lies in its technical brilliance, historic rivalries, and the high-stakes nature of championship bouts. The build-up to major boxing fights, with its press conferences and global attention, makes it an iconic sport with a rich tradition. MMA, on the other hand, offers a raw and unpredictable experience. The variety of techniques and finishes keep fans on the edge of their seats. The sport has rapidly gained popularity due to organizations like the UFC, which has produced global superstars such as Conor McGregor, Khabib Nurmagomedov, and Israel Adesanya. MMA's ability to showcase different fighting styles and disciplines makes it one of the most exciting combat sports to watch. So, which sport is better? The answer ultimately depends on what one values in combat sports. If you appreciate the art of striking, the science behind footwork, and the history of legendary fighters, boxing might be your choice. But if you enjoy a mix of different martial arts, unpredictable outcomes, and a dynamic fighting environment, MMA could be the superior sport for you. Both sports have their place in the world of combat sports, and neither can truly be declared the best. They each bring something unique to the table, providing entertainment and showcasing the skill and dedication of fighters at the highest level. Whether you're a boxing fan or an MMA enthusiast, one thing is certain: both sports will continue to thrive and create unforgettable moments for years to come. The debate will go on, but at the end of the day, it's all about respecting the athletes who dedicate their lives to the fight game. So now, the question is, what do you think? Which sport do you prefer, and why? Let us know in the comments below and be part of the discussion.